Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings to the second official episode of Ladies in Tech Author Chats. Thank you all so much for being here, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching the replay. Thank you. Be sure to share this out with your network. We greatly appreciate it. My name is Kenyatta Powers Rucker. I am the founder and visionary of Ladies in Tech. I have been in tech technically for tech and leadership positions for about 30 years. So I went from a desktop support specialist managing computers that were supposed to for Y2K and making sure that they were updated to support Y2K of moving over from 1999 to 2000 to becoming the first Black woman to be a chief information officer for the Maryland Department of Human Services. So I am a senior technical executive, servant leader, visionary, and advocate for women in tech and for women in leadership. So I've dedicated my journey, especially my C-suite years, in elevating others, right? Creating opportunities for others, breaking barriers in the tech industry with others. My passion, my true passion, lies in empowering women by giving us the platform to grow, giving us a platform to lead, a platform to thrive, a platform to see that we matter. I believe that true leadership is about service. True leadership is about the people, mentoring people, uplifting others, ensuring that the next generation and this generation has the tools, the visibility, the confidence to step into these technical roles and these leadership roles. So with that, I started two different things. One is my new coaching program, which is Rise and Lead Leadership Transformation Challenge. It is a 6 weeks leadership journey that will help women break through barriers, gain confidence, and to step into full potential as leaders. We'll provide tools to define your vision, tools to help you communicate with authority, navigate the workplace challenges that we often face, and to lead with impact. So be on the lookout for more to come on the Rise and Lead Leadership Challenge. But my second baby is the Ladies in Tech platform. Ladies in Tech, otherwise known as LIT for Ladies in Tech. So Ladies in Tech is a platform that gives women the visibility in their tech career, and it gives women the visibility in leadership. We help with mentoring and coaching and offering some leadership development. We have different networking events including brunches, Zoom calls, Ladies in Tech network summits, Ladies in Tech book launches. So we have great speakers, networking, giveaways, and so much more, all to support and educate women in tech and now women in leadership. We also help with community initiatives and recently speaking with young ladies in Atlanta in tech and in STEM areas. So, and of course, Ladies in Tech offers the book publications. Ladies in Tech Volume 1 that launched in 2022, 23, Ladies in Tech Volume 2 that launched earlier in 2024, and now Ladies in Tech Volume 3, The Strength, Strategies, and Lessons of Women Leaders. 21 phenomenal women said yes to sharing their experiences. Yes, to sharing their expertise. Yes, to sharing their leadership journeys. So this book includes it's almost 400 years of expertise. And they think we don't have ladies in tech, women in the tech industry. We have 400 years of expertise. So ladies from all areas of technology, all areas of leadership, including being entrepreneurs. So we have great things that they offer the industry and great things that we have offered to Ladies in Tech Volume 3. So I'm excited to share with you all a few of the authors tonight. Again, we have 21, but we have 6 more authors tonight. And we had 4 last week, 6 tonight. We're going to start with introducing Dr. Jo Anna Bennerson. Yes, Dr. Jo Anna.
Hi, Kenyatta.
Hello, Adalena Oliver.
Hello.
Miss Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson.
Pleasure to be here. Hi, guys. Hello, world.
Miss Bethany Plaza. and Miss Naomi Carrington Hockman.
Greetings, everyone.
And last but certainly not least, Miss Sophia Edwards.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, look, ladies in tech, welcome, ladies, welcome, ladies. I am ecstatic to have you all here today. We are ecstatic to be able to have conversations around Ladies in Tech Volume 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started with introductions because we need to tell the people who the people are. So we're going to start with introductions going around for each person. So you introduce who you are, what role you have in the tech industry and leadership industry and the leadership industry. So we're going to start with, Dr. Jo Anna.
Hi, Kenyatta. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I have been in technology in leadership roles for about 30 years now, and I migrated from being a project manager to now being a FedRAMP cybersecurity specialist. And in all those roles, I really focus on risk mitigation in the IT sector. I'm also a poet and an author, and I enjoy helping women who come into the industry and supporting the people who are already there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Joanna. We certainly appreciate you being here and that level of cybersecurity expertise, Ms. FedRAMP. All right, we're going to go next with Miss Adalena Oliver.
Hello, hello, hello. Adalena Oliver. I have, I was going to say over 30 years of experience, but it's actually 40 years of experience in the industry. And I am now a senior director at a large transportation company in the Northeast. I am also an entrepreneur. I just started my coaching business. It's called the Abundant Path Mentor and Coach. And my business is all about helping people tap into who they are so they can be the best that they can be in any position that they have, but especially when using technology. I focus on the people side of technology, and because you can, create a wonderful solution, but if nobody knows how to use it, how wonderful really is it? So it's all about making sure folks are comfortable with using technology to live their best life.
Miss Core Values. Yeah. I actually attended Adalena's Core Value training, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson, tell us about yourself.
Kenyatta and Ladies in Tech team, it's an honor to be here. Honor. So Kenyatta, this has been a double journey for us. I was an author, best-selling author in Ladies in Tech 2, and now I'm here returning as an esteemed author in Ladies in Tech 3. I am the president and CEO of Anoma Healthcare Concepts. It's a clinical healthcare technology company. We believe you have to be precise to save a life. I started many years ago, 25 plus years ago, in the research arena as a research scientist, actually as an AIDS clinical trial scientist and a biologist. So looking at saving lives through technology and research, as well as big pharmaceutical strategies, bringing drugs to market, vaccines, and crossed over into mainstream clinical healthcare and crossed quickly over into the technology space, right? So we believe you have to have sound technology to save a life. Our sweet spots are in the ancillaries, lab, pharmacy, ambulatory, radiology, things like that. So we just want to make the community better with healthcare IT because we knew during COVID, many lives had to have sound technology, telehealth strategies, medical device integration, putting people on those respirators in a matter of split seconds. So we are champions to help our clinical healthcare community to save lives and put in digital transformation. So a pleasure for me to be here today. Thank you.
Wow, healthcare IT, that is awesome. You think about how much we actually really needed that during our COVID years. So thank you, Becky. Thank you. Next, we're going to have Miss Bethany.
So nice to be here with you guys. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in technology for 28 years. I sold one of my IT solutions companies back in 2018 to a publicly traded company. I have another solutions company now called Innovatio Tech Corporation. And I also have a coaching company that caters specifically to technology product and services companies to help develop their products from idea stage out to go-to-market strategy and ongoing support.
Awesome. Thank you. Miss Bethany that is calling way from Ecuador today.
Ecuador.
Thank you so much for being here. Ms. Naomi Carrington Hockman, come on and tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Kenyatta. I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm blessed to be amongst such amazing other ladies in technology. I have been in the technology space for 30 years. I started with 20 years in the military as a signal, which is communications officer. So I've done everything from building computers to writing federal policy that goes across the entire Department of Defense. I also moved on to doing strategic planning and IT governance. And so making sure that everybody's in compliance as an IG, Inspector General. And then I finally culminated as a program manager, managing millions of dollars in contracts. I am a best-selling author with 3 other books, 2 were collaborations and 1 of my own. And in my semi-retirement, I'm going around with my company, Naomi Speaks, speaking and doing leadership and public speaking development. So that's what I'm doing these days.
That's a lot. This was what I'm doing these days. Thank you, Naomi. And last but certainly not least, Miss Sophia Edwards. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, Kenyatta, for this opportunity to be one of the contributing authors for Volume 3. I'm really excited. My background is I am the founder and CEO of Sharp Edge. We've actually been in place since 2018. And our firm, we provide a range of capabilities from enterprise strategic alignment to IT service solution and delivery, as well as mission and program support. My personal background is I've spent over 25 years, actually quickly approaching 30 years, supporting the government in various capacities, leadership capacities, technical capacities, in the private sector, but also as a federal government employee. So I'm really excited just to be a part of this amazing group of ladies and to continue to share, my thoughts on strengths, strategies, and so forth. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Awesome. And you all just hear of all the level of expertise, all the knowledge that is in this book, just within these 6 ladies. And we'll think about how their level of expertise is going to be shared within Ladies in Tech Volume 3. We have everyone here was almost 30 years or plus right there of how many years that women have been in the tech industry. Now that's something to be shout about. That is something to be very happy and proud of, to have us in the industry that long. So I'm certainly appreciative. This is one of the reasons I'd be so gung-ho about Ladies in Tech, of having us here and representing Ladies in Tech. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for your yes. Thank you so much for participating and being in Volume 3. So let's go into different questions. I'm going to say what made you, just a 2-part question. What made you want to be a part of Ladies in Tech? And then what is the trait? Okay, so let's just give the people some information. And for this Volume 3, each leader selected a leadership trait to discuss in their chapter. So they selected whatever trait that resonated with their journey, that resonated with their personal story. So they selected a trait and telling their stories about it, telling more and giving you information about it and what's in their chapter. So I wanted to hear from you about, one, what made you want to join Ladies in Tech, and how and if that relates with the character, the leadership trait that you selected. What is your leadership trait that you selected? And how is that related to you being in the book? So we're going to start with Becky.
Well, Kenyatta, I really wanted to be in the book because I wanted to be a beacon of light for healthcare technology and for the world. Just putting the spotlight on the importance of healthcare technology and how we save lives every day. And I wanted to encourage individuals how you could pivot and how you could be like myself, a double STEM, and cross over into technology like I have in the last 28 years. My leadership trait is integrity, because integrity is pivotal for the success of sound healthcare. It's really, really important that we have people that have integrity in leadership to be able to lead teams and move the needle to excellence. And that's why I chose my trait, one of the reasons why, and why I joined healthcare tech. Ladies in Tech. I was very passionate about it, about being a beacon of light and giving back.
And that you are. There's no doubt. Again, I've been working with Becky for Volume 2 and Volume 3. She is certainly a beacon of light. And when I tell you have a heart for people, she has a heart for people and love to do things for people. And so integrity, I am not surprised at all that she has integrity as her trait. So thank you, Becky. Thank you, Becky.
My pleasure.
Yeah, good. I'm now going to go with Dr. Jo Anna.
I wanted to join Ladies in Tech because I have a very long career in technology. One of the things I wanted to share about technology is it's not just us, the IT professionals, who are actually part of IT anymore. Just about every person is a part of IT. They're all users. So being a part of this allows them to see more of what we do and how they can be included. My trait that I chose is vision, because, as you see, Kenyatta, you're a visionary leader, but to have a vision is to have a view of something, but you also have to realize that your vision is 1, informational, and 2, transformational. And I talk more about that in my chapter.
Awesome. That is such a great point, is that tech is in everything, right? In everything. So whether, I know a little short story is, I remember a young lady was saying that her dad made her be in tech and she didn't want to do it. She wanted to be a fashion designer, but she was in tech, and she used her tech skills to build her an app to show off her clothes as a fashion designer, right? So tech is in everything. You only need technology for your profession. Tech is in everything. Thank you for that. All right, so let's go with Miss Adalena. I'm going to go who I see in line. Miss Adalena.
All right. Ooh, I joined Ladies in Tech Volume 3 because I wanted to inspire others. My story is, like I said, I started 40 years ago before it was called information technology. When I started out, it was called data processing. And there were very few people like myself in it. Now I'm going to tell my age by saying that I started out when there was key punch cards, okay, floppy disk. And when you bought a desktop, it wasn't even put together. You had to put each piece together yourself when you got your machine. So as you can see, there were very few people in the industry that looked like me. And so I wanted to share my story to inspire others. And I looked at my 40-year career and I was thinking, how did I do that? And the one thing, which is my trait, that kept me in technology was staying true to myself as a leader. Working and leading based on my own value system. It's key because I had to look at myself in the mirror every time I made a decision when I went from what one position to another position. And now that I am a senior director in my role, I am still staying true to who I am in my leadership role. And so that's why I joined Ladies in Tech Volume 3. And my trait is authentic leadership, leading from your value system.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is great. Great, great, great. All right. We're going to go with Miss Naomi.
My leadership trait happens to be decision making. So I made the decision to join Ladies in Tech based on the fact that I am a lifelong learner. I'm currently working on my PhD in information technology. And so can you imagine the learning that's happening just being in the presence of the fellow authors? So that's a personal growth avenue for me. But the other aspects of participating in this book is components of decision making that I talk about in my chapter. One is that it has to be exciting. And it is exciting being on a new journey with a new group of ladies, and you never know where it's going to take you. The other aspect is I am huge in communications. I actually am a 10-year member of Toastmasters International. And so it's important for me to make sure that we are communicating our messages effectively to the next generation. And the third aspect of why I joined Ladies in Tech is service. I thoroughly believe that I'm here to serve, and this is how I want to give back. So that's why I joined Ladies in Tech, and my trait is decision making.
Awesome. So decision making, as we think about making decisions, how many we even make during the day, a day, including these important decisions around our careers and what to do and what not to do, and how all of these traits are leading up to each other. Being your authentic self and having integrity and making those right decisions for yourself, and how these traits are just all flowing into one another and flowing throughout the entire volume. So I purposely didn't want to thoroughly read each of your chapters until I got the full gamut of everything. So I got hearing snippets, of course, I've gone through all of your chapters, but I am excited to just hear, to read it from the beginning to the end once everything is truly, truly finalized. And I know the readers are going to be amazed as well. So just thinking about and hearing these traits again right now is just like mind-blowing of how impactful it can be and how much it is all needed, how much we need to hear that. So let's go with Miss Bethany, Miss from Ecuador. I think you're muted. I don't know if
you're for muted. Technology.
Okay. I'm sorry, you're good now. Go ahead.
Okay. I've been an advocate for technology for decades, for women in technology, but not in the male versus female kind of situation. I believe very much that we were created with different strengths, and it's about putting those strengths together to build great teams. Also, for decades, my friends have told me, you need to write a book because of all the challenges I've had in life. I'm like, but what if there's no happy ending? So I thought this was a great opportunity to share how I have survived some of those challenges, especially as a female in technology. And so my chapter is on resilience.
Resilience, and how resilient we need to be as being a woman in the tech industry. Resilience.
Not just that, but balancing all the different things that we have to balance, as a female.
Yes. Flexibility. Oh goodness, the balance. We could talk for days about the balance.
I know.
Is there balance? Right. Is there ever balance? Is there balance? All right, let's go. Thank you so much, Bethany. Let's go for Miss Sophia. We're going to start going in these particular order. Miss Sophia.
Great. Thank you so much. The reason why I wanted to join Ladies in Tech, and first of all, I want to thank my very good friend, Adalena Oliver, because she is the one that made me aware of this amazing opportunity and introduced me to you, Kenyatta. And, but the other reason is because I wanted to be a part of these amazing stories. I just listening to everybody and, their backgrounds and what their trait was. I wanted to be a part of those stories because, one, I am a huge advocate of women. I'm a huge advocate of, making sure that women understand what their potential is and the opportunities that they have, and making sure that they're aware of who they are so that they can be the best of who they need to be in their career, whether it's in a leadership capacity, a leadership technical capacity, whatever that is. I want to be a woman in tech advocate. So that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a part of this amazing opportunity. And my trait for Volume 3 is emotional intelligence. And when I saw that was one of the traits that I could write about, I was very excited because emotional intelligence I've taught, and I've done some instruction on that. But there's so many components to emotional intelligence that I think will resonate with women, especially as they pursue leadership or they're currently in leadership roles. And it's definitely a trait that's inspired me and helped me progress in my career. And really, it's just not only just being aware of who you are, but being aware of your interactions with others and being aware of other people's emotions. And I definitely dive into it a little bit more in the chapter. But when you put all of those together and you develop good relationships, it really makes you stronger as a leader. So I'm really excited to continue talking about emotional intelligence and just really advocating for women to understand who they are and to lead with confidence and strength.
Now that's a big one too. I hear so many times about people not feeling like they belong, right? That they should be included, and having the confidence to be able, and I admit, I suffered with it myself, right? Do I really belong here? Is this really what that I'm supposed to be here? And I had the years that had to go to talking to myself, because at that time I didn't have a mentor, right? I didn't have someone to really help me through this process. I was finding my way in the dark by myself. And to realize I do belong here. I earned this position. I had worked hard and I have earned this position. I belong. And that's what sometimes we have to tell ourselves of where we are in life and where we are in our position. So that leads me to another question. Now, me personally, I didn't really have a mentor. The lady that I at some point saw her as somewhat of a mentor, I just say she didn't need to be anybody's mentor. I'm just going to leave it at that. That some of the things I learned, the things not to do from her. Okay. So, but so I'm going to go with asking, did you all have a mentor? Who had a mentor as you were growing in your career? I'm gonna say, Adalena, you had a mentor. So everybody had a mentor. You had. So how did that mentor? How did it help you? Did it help you, and how did it help you?
Talking to me?
Yes, Adalena.
Oh yeah. I had mentors and didn't even really know they were mentors until hindsight was 20/20 for me. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because I was short, but people always kind of took me under their wings. And so a lot of times when I made a mistake, they would give me advice on what I could have done differently. And when I was ready to move to a next chapter or next position in my career, I would go to them and ask them how to navigate, or I would ask what kind of training I needed. And a lot of times these people were in a position to help me get the training that I needed to move into the next position. But what I did find out was a lot of times in a tech role, you almost have to prove that you can do the work before they'll give you the position. And so a lot of times I volunteered my services and to prove that I could do so. That was how I got my first tech job. I was a clerk typist. I was 20 some odd years old, and I was a clerk typist, typing my way through college because I decided that I didn't need to go all the way through because I knew everything, of course, at 18, but I didn't, right? So I'm typing my way through, and there was an opportunity in our quote unquote data processing area, and I volunteered to do data entry. And as a result of that, I went to a computer associates, which was a school that used to be in Chicago that taught you a trade, how to program, operations, everything. And that's how I got my start. So I always had people looking out for me for some reason, because I think I was curious. And so showing up and being curious allowed many doors to open up for me. And people were willing to help me as a result of that.
Awesome. We have such similar stories. So I saw another hand about a mentor that had mentored. I see Becky.
Well, I had a few mentors, but I had a main mentor that was a top senior VP, may he rest in peace, of a healthcare system, a huge healthcare system. I had to kind of do a reach, and I was actually pulled. I had the clinical side down, being a scientist and being a clinical laboratory scientist, and many, many years of studying my pre-med studies. It taught me to be a critical thinker, right? But I had to walk through onto the technology side in leadership, and how could I get to the boardroom? So my mentor kind of walked me through different scenarios. We had very long conversations and scenarios. He introduced me to top individuals in the top C-suite, invited me to meetings so I could observe, and really taught me how to get a hold of my emotional side, when to speak, how to listen, how to observe, and to always be prepared for your meetings. Research the individuals that you're meeting with. You're meeting with a CEO of a hospital. Research, find as much as you can about that person going back several years, right? And have a relationship with them and connect with them, right? Just don't go in asking for certain things, but be a go-giver and give, and just want to learn and have that connection, right? So I learned from people that had many, many years of leadership running healthcare systems, medical doctors that were in leadership positions, top executives that ran different healthcare systems and workflows. And so I had an honor to have very tactical mentors that went through the bumps and bruises that could quickly give me a lot of that knowledge and mentor me. So it was really a blessing for me to do that. And I always made myself available to do a reach and get out of my comfortable zone, taking off the scrubs in the clinical arena, putting on a nice suit and smile, and being prepared to do that crosswalk from the clinical side to technology and leadership, and taking a lot of leadership courses to develop my.
Yes, being prepared, volunteering for different positions. Man, absolutely. These different things. And don't forget the leadership training, right? Of helping us to move further in our careers. That is awesome. Anybody else want to share about mentors? Sophia?
Yes, for me, mentors have been my lifeline throughout my career. And for me, I've had several types of mentors. Of course, I always have to give credit to my amazing family. My mom and dad were incredible mentors to me in their different ways. And so they really set the foundation for who I am. And then, of course, having men and women mentors throughout my career who have really, these mentors encouraged me, who told me I belonged where I was, and gave me some critical advice on just, feeling included, but also how to progress in my career. And then when I started my business, I had business mentors, individuals that really took time to help me with understanding how to start a business, but also giving me opportunities to expand my business. And they always told me, it's Sophia, we're going to be here to help you. We'll give you some different opportunities, but just as I'm giving you opportunities, make sure that you give back to other people.
Yes.
So that to me was critical. But the other mentor that I want to mention, this group of mentors, I call them silent mentors, because throughout my career and even now, when I observe individuals, I really take note of what I should do and what I should not do. And so that group, the silent mentors, have really taught me a lot, because I've really been able to observe different reactions of if someone says something this way, or if they do something this way, looking at the reactions of others. My mental note is, I will never do that, or wow, that was great. So that's how I like to bucket my mentors, but they've been critical. And one of the things that I've made sure that I do is any way that I can, I want to give back and be mentors to others.
That's awesome.
Silent mentors. I love it. And I think if you think about it, whether they taught you what to do or what not to do, at some point we've all had silent mentors. All right. Naomi, you want to share about your mentor? Go ahead.
So it's funny that Sophia mentioned silent mentors, because when Kenyatta was talking about her mentors that should not be mentors, I thought of all my unofficial mentors. There are people that poured into me, and I was not aware of this relationship until after the fact.
Hmm.
And I did the same thing as Sophia mentioned. I observed, I applied some emotional intelligence, and I was able to deduce what to do in the future, or don't ever do that. So I thought of Nelson Mandela when he says, I never lose. I either win or I learn.
Mm.
And that's what I believe in my unofficial mentors do for me, is that I learn.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yes. Unofficial and silent mentors. All right. So I have another question for you guys. So how about I know many or all of us are entrepreneurs. Being in leadership, is it something you've always wanted to do? Well, we can even start with that of being in tech or being in leadership. Is it something that you knew growing up that this is what I wanted to do? Let's start with Dr. Jo Anna.
Even as a child, I was always like in a leadership role. So it just seemed like it was just part of who I was. In terms of my career, I moved from being a CPA into technology. As you saw with Y2K, you know, we all had to dig in and be prepared for that change. And then came SOX, where a lot of the authority figures were driving down a lot of their responsibilities into the various functional teams. And I then got my master's in technology management. And then I got my PhD in leadership principles. And I think what I have always been an advocate for is to help people be their own leader. You should be a leader in your own life. You should be a leader in your own career. And you should be a leader in whatever level of the organization you're in, no matter if you're a supervisor or manager or, you know, on the C level. So I always look at it from that perspective. And that's one reason I encourage people to understand leadership behaviors and which ones do they advocate or adhere to in their own lives.
It's beautiful.
Yes. I mean, think about it. We are all leaders in our own way, especially in our own lives. But I think that piece of advice is great. Awesome. Awesome. What about you, Miss Bethany? So have you always wanted to be in tech and or leadership?
No, and no. I think as a kid, I was automatically a leader because I had to solve a lot of problems in the family. And so it kind of became natural as I went on through my career to solve problems. And so people would start to look to me automatically because I was really good at solving problems. Technology, no, I had never thought about a technology career, but I owned and sold several businesses, and I was kind of bored. And I thought one day, I was like, what the heck can keep my mind busy and engaged? And I thought about technology, and that's when I entered that. And even so, when I started in technology, you know, I started at obviously a very low level position, but grew and grew and grew. And I understood a lot because I had this great backbone of troubleshooting, you know, solving problems. And so it fits great in the technology industry, but definitely never thought about being a leader. It was kind of a natural attrition, is that not attrition, a natural progression. And I think that too, for me, I always aim to keep a very humble attitude about who I am, what I know, where I'm going. And that allows me to learn so much from other people that it helped me to grow naturally, if that all makes sense.
It does. It perfectly makes sense. Yeah, it's just amazing. You know, I know when we hear each other's stories, we can see how much it resonates with our own stories and our own lives. Me being a middle child, yeah, I always felt like I needed to be the leader in the family for the most part. Not to say for always, but yeah, especially now. So, but it kind of grew up from ages, but it's never something. I always thought when I was growing up, I wanted to be in the office and being able to wear nice clothes. I know I just wanted to be in the office and I wanted to wear nice clothes to work. So you know,
I owned a construction company at one point. It was a total different world for women also in construction.
Yeah.
And so technology was kind of easy for me after construction.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And you own a construction company?
Yeah, I was a partner. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, we can do it.
Learned a lot of things.
Good, good. We can do amazing things and people think that we can't or shouldn't. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Anyone else care to share about what they ever wanted to be in tech or wanted to be in leadership?
I'll share.
Sure, Adalena.
Well, I've always wanted to be a teacher, and a teacher is kind of like being in leadership. So I can remember being a teacher's helper in, elementary school, a teacher's helper in middle school, a teacher's helper in high school, tutoring in college, coaching and mentoring, even in all of my positions. So I was always in a leadership role from that perspective, but I just kind of fell into technology because, like I said, I volunteered my services because I got so sick of typing. I'm like, well, if I got to type, I may as well do data entry. And so it just ended up being a career. But in terms of leadership, always wanted to be in a teaching role and a leadership role. But I totally wanted to say that I agree with Jo Ann in saying that you have to be able to lead yourself to success if you're going to lead others to success. So you have to start with yourself. So I just wanted to say that totally resonated with me as well.
And you know how many people are actually leaders that really shouldn't be leaders? So are we, is this something you really want to do, right? Do you really want to be a leader? Or is this something you just fell into? And I think we talked about this in the last show about this is being a passion, right? Is this something you fell into, or you did it because the money was good and you're following this path because of the dollars, and you get into a path that you're miserable and then you make everybody else miserable around you? So should you really be in this leadership role? Everybody that can lead shouldn't. So let's just leave it at that. So anyone else care to share about being in tech or being in leadership?
Yeah, I want to just say for me, I was always inquisitive. I always wanted to be a servant. I wanted to serve the most vulnerable populations. I can remember reading a book about medical doctors and the stress of residencies during my pre-med years. I wanted to get up at 4 a.m., be at the hospital by 5, and walk through what I called the big house, 1,000-bed hospital to go through. And I was a phlebotomist. I would go around do blood collections before I went to my morning classes, biology and chemistry classes. And I wanted to go to that big house, 1,000-bed, and visit the most vulnerable people laying in beds and collect their blood and just do that. And I wanted a piece of that. I wanted a piece of making communities healthier, through the clinical side, all the way through technology. I just wanted to make a difference and commit my life to be a servant and a servant leader. And so that's what I've done most of my life. My nickname is God's servant. And I just had an ability to serve others and got promoted along the way just from my passion and commitment. So that's a little bit about me. Why?
Thank you. Thank you, Becky. I can definitely see that of you. All right, so we're going to end it a little bit with each of you sharing your piece of advice, of leadership advice. And I know we have been given some tidbits of information throughout the whole process, but leadership advice that you would like to leave to the audience, something that truly has resonated with you, that you want to share, that you want to make sure you want the young ladies that is here and men that are hearing this, just something that they can use in their day-to-day of being in tech and or leadership. So let's start with Sophia.
Sorry, I wanted to make sure that I was unmuted. For me, I would really, really like to, for leadership advice, is just ensure that anyone who is pursuing or currently in a leadership role is to continue embracing who you are and making sure that you stand firm in your values, that you really trust the decisions that you make, and that you find a group of individuals that you can trust and be around. To me, that is so important because, you need to have that group of people that support you and that you can support. And the other thing that I do want to say is it's okay to not try to do everything on your own. It's okay to delegate. It's okay to surround yourself with individuals that have expertise that you may not have, because I feel like that's what leadership is about. I don't know everything. I'm not going to know everything, but I'm going to surround myself with individuals that are going to help with getting the mission done and helping us move forward where we can collaborate and really make a difference.
Great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go with Adalena.
Oh, I would say know your why and know your worth is what I would say as a leader. Know why you're in it, because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It goes back to your core values for me, always. Know why you're doing what you're doing and know that what you're worth, so that when you are in a leadership role and somebody says to you, you don't belong here, you know you do belong. You've done the work and you believe in yourself. That's what I would say.
Awesome. I love it. Oh, great advice. Great advice. I'm gonna have to go back and make sure I jot all this stuff down too. Miss Bethany.
I can think of 3 different things if I have time for that. I think first and foremost, I would tell aspiring leaders that resilience is not a trait that you're born with. It's a skill, though, that you can actively develop. I think from my 28 years in tech, I've learned that great leadership isn't about maintaining a flawless facade. I have learned so much from my mistakes. I would say it's about creating something I call strategic adaptability, the ability to acknowledge challenges while maintaining a forward momentum. I think also I would say it's so important as a leader, and I'll say this maybe to active leaders now, create systems that outlast your presence. When I was going through cancer treatment, I had to build leadership structures that would function even when I wasn't there. And that taught me that true leadership isn't about being indispensable. It's not about being the best one in the room. It's about creating frameworks that empower others to excel. And then I think the other thing, sometimes we think, because we've seen so many bad leaders, sometimes we think that leadership is about being perfect. And it's not. I think that leadership is about progression. It's about, each challenge that you face, it adds to this reservoir of wisdom and emotional intelligence that you develop, provided that you approach it with the right mindset, right? We've got to keep it humble. I've discovered through my journey that some of my deepest struggles became some of my greatest sources of leadership insight.
Oh my goodness. That is great information. Great advice. Great advice. I love it. Dr. Joanna.
Advice I would give to aspiring leaders would be to seek out best practices, stay current, try to be ahead, be active in the IT community, get and maintain your certifications. I have about 12 of them, but as we were talking about, it's because even though I don't feel I have to prove myself with all my experience, they always ask for the next one, right? But that keeps me current also. And then promote yourself, from being someone who learns and models behavior to being that person who is the model that other people can look at. People learn best, I feel, when they can model behavior that's accessible to them. And then manage your mindset. And as you guys know, I'm a poet, so my my poem for that is Forward March. And it says, don't get bogged down in the trivia of their lives. Don't stop thinking for yourself. It just isn't wise. Stand up for everything dear and important to you, not just the obvious stuff, what's needed, that few, but for yourself, your history, and your future. Don't end up just another hapless creature. It's easy to be sweet-talked into mediocrity. It's hard as hell to stay the course, particularly since values change with seasonality. You have to use your power. You are the force. And don't be content with their dreams. You can do more than their minds have ever seen. So let go of these middle-of-the-road comforts. Re-embark on your journey. Abandon this desert. Forward march.
Yes, 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 yes. Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna get some more of that at the book launch.
Okay.
That is great. I forgot she was a poet. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, that is awesome. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that. All right, who do we have left? Miss Audrey Becky.
The first thing I would say is don't sell your soul. Don't sell out. Okay? Be authentic to who you are and don't sell out. And always remember, as a leader, somebody is always watching you and they depend and rely on you to be an authentic leader and do what you say you're going to do. At the end of the day, find a safe space to offload things that are not healthy. Don't go to bed at night up all night and live with them, right? They will eat you out. And also, mental health is very important as leaders, that we have a balance of that and make sure that we're healthy mentally and physically. And I would say, don't stop learning. Don't stop learning because you want to be current with your skill set and leadership. And you want to learn from what others have said in industry that are industry leaders. And I would say, just be open. But I leave with you, don't sell your soul. There's always a place for you to grow and never feel left out. And that's what I would do for you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, this is just such great information. I have to bottle all of this up, all of this, and put it out to the people. This is great info. Naomi, go for it.
My advice to other ladies in tech is to remember that Madeleine Albright once said, there's a special place in hell for women that don't help other women. Kenyatta has put together Ladies in Tech, Volume 3. And I believe you said we are about 70 of us between Volume 1, 2, and 3.
About 60.
60. So you have 60 women that are willing to help. I believe my advice to other leaders in technology is to seek out those heavenly women that are willing to help.
Yes. Man, listen, I just even hearing the advice by itself, I know y'all want to go get the book. I know you want to go get the book. This is going to be fantastic. And these ladies will be also speaking at the book launch. Let's talk about the book launch. Ladies in Tech book launch is on March 29th in Towson, Maryland. And we have a wonderful lineup of speakers that will be sharing and dropping gems, just like they shared and dropped gems tonight. I am super excited for these ladies to share more of their journey. They only gave you a tidbit of information of what's in the book. You don't have to get the book to be able to get all of it. And they will share their information in a little bit about how to get the book from them. But right now, we're going to talk about this book launch. The book launch is, again, March 29th in Towson, Maryland. We have phenomenal speakers. We're going to also share the Ladies in Tech Award celebration, because not only are we just speaking about women in our leadership positions, but there are so many wonderful ladies that deserve to be recognized and deserve to be rewarded. And when I would hear about women just really not feeling worthy, right, feeling like they belong, we've had a plethora of people that have nominated other ladies or nominated themselves and know, look, I deserve an award too. So we will be celebrating women at the Ladies in Tech book launch. We will have giveaways. Of course, we'll have be feeding you, of course. We'll have some VIP opportunities, VIP swag bags, programs, the whole nine. And we are excited for you to attend. You will be networking and collaborating with all of these ladies to make sure that you will be able to get all of their information. So I am excited. The other piece that I want to share is we are going having our pre-sales, which will start in pre-sales is each author will be pre-selling the book, and they'll share their information about how you could get the book from them. Starting on Monday, February 10th, we will be in pre-sales, and you can order the book from each of the authors. The books will be in around the second or third week in March, at least by the second or third week in March, maybe before, but we'll be able to actually get the book. We also have Ladies in Tech, the bestsellers campaign. Bestsellers campaign, March 4th. So mark it on your calendars because we're going to need your help to be a bestseller. Ladies in Tech, Volume 3. Volume 1, Volume 2 are already bestsellers. Volume 3 will be a bestseller too. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. We will be Volume 3 as bestsellers for Volume 3 as well. So March 4th, be on the lookout. We'll be sending out information on how you can help us to become bestsellers, and that is getting the book. You will be getting the e-copy of the book via Amazon on March 4th. So be on the lookout so you can help us be bestsellers. So again, we have pre-sales starting Monday, February 10th. We have the bestsellers campaign on March 4th. And we have the Ladies in Tech book launch and award ceremony on March 29th in person in Towson, Maryland. So be on the lookout. Excited to have you here. So we want to go around one more time for each of the ladies to share their contact information. How can the peoples get in contact with you? How can they buy the book from you? Whether it's your website, landing page, all your social medias, all of that. Tell the people how we can contact them. I'm going to go in order here. I see Adalena first.
All right. You can find my book at www.adalenaoliver.com. My name.
Social media?
Facebook as well as Instagram.
They want to know more about
Adalena Oliver. Yes.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Miss Bethany. How can the people contact you, get the book, and what's your social media handles?
Okay, so let's see. My book is going to be selling on BethanyPlaza.com. We like to keep it easy, like Adalena. Social media, LinkedIn, I'm at Bethany Plaza. I think there's only one of me, as all my friends will say. The world can't take two. Also on Instagram and on Facebook, same thing. Bethany Plaza, Bethany J Plaza, and Innovatio Tech also for social media handles.
Awesome. Miss Naomi Carrington Hockman, don't get it right.
I can be easily found at naomispeaks.com. Connect with me there. And you also could find just LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Naomi Carrington Hockman.
Awesome. NaomiSpeaks.com. All right. Miss Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson.
You can find me just as you see me presented here on the screen, AudreyBeckyChambersRobinson.com, or on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and you can also find me via my business, Normal Healthcare Concepts. I'm available at your disposal. Thank you.
Great, great, great. Miss Sophia Edwards.
Hi, you'll be able to find me through LinkedIn, Sophia Edwards, and you'll also be able to find information about the book on sharpedge.com. You'll see a news and events section, so you'll be able to find information on how to obtain the book there as well.
And last, thank you, last but not least, Dr. Jo Anna.
You can find me at www.visionarypoet.com. And you can also find me on LinkedIn as Dr. Jo Anna Bennerson. And you can find me on Facebook, also on YouTube at author Joanna Bella. Thanks again, Kenyatta.
You are quite welcome. All right. So you can also find me on get the tickets, from the Ladies in Tech book launch at KenyattaPowersRecord.com. All information you want to find out about me is on KenyattaPowersRecord.com. But yes, you can get your tickets from the book launch at KenyattaPowersRecord.com. I'm on all social media as Kenyatta Powers Record. So very easy to find. I don't think there's so many of me, but very easy to find on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm engaging into a little bit of the TikTok world too. So, and my last little piece of advice that I would like to give now in the night with is to lift as you climb. That is one of those, take some folk with you. What you learn, what you're learning, and I think Naomi has also mentioned this is about helping others along the way. As Miss God Servant, Miss Becky, taking people along the way. It's always one of the things that I always wanted to do was to make sure what you're learning, helping others to learn as well, helping them develop in their careers, helping them grow in their careers. What can you do to help others advance? Whether it's mentoring, whether it's coaching, whatever you can do to try to help others will definitely bless you as well as it will bless them. So we leave you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, ladies in tech authors, Dr. Joanna, Adalena, Bethany, Becky, Naomi, and Sophia. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to Elite Creations for being our producer of the night. Nadia Mansana has been my graphic designer for several years now. She did the cover of these Ladies in Tech Volume 1, 2, and 3. So thank you, Nadia. Thank you for your services. And thank you all. Have a great night.
Have a great night.